You didn't have to cut.
Oh, yeah,
It's really funny.
That sounds really funny.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Two Asian Blokes podcast, a podcast where we talk about Asian pop culture, films, TV shows, comic books, anime, music, food, video games, whatever we're feeling at the time. Really, my name is Dan with H. With me, as always, is my co-host Tavi. What's up, Tavi? Been a minute.
Yes, it has been a long while actually. You've been out and about town,
Yeah.
other towns overseas.
Yep.
It may not seem like it with the way that we release our episodes, but we haven't actually spoken to each other for a little while.
I mean, we've spoken to each other in our private time.
In our private time,
but,
messaging.
Yes, we have not
Me
recorded.
complaining about things.
Yeah, a lot of complaining. Taken a couple of trips overseas. I might
Yeah,
put some of that content on our channel if you want to check it out. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you're in Korea and Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been traveling the Orients. You've been doing the Lord Nelson Rathbone
Spend most of my time in
travel
the
extra. Hit the Orients. He's savage. Yes, that reference the Shanghai Nights.
Yeah, the movie, everybody's favorite Jackie Chan movie. Oh, Jackie Chan is coming up soon, Tavi. We gotta start recording.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it. Yeah, well, you're coming to Melbourne pretty soon.
I am.
So
I'll be there for Christmas.
Maybe there's some times that we can watch them together.
Yeah.
But maybe we should just watch them separately. We're gonna
should
stack too much
probably.
shit.
We're gonna be cutting it pretty close. I think coming like late.
Yeah.
But no, for fans of that series, it's coming. It's coming soon. We've already chosen the movie.
Yeah, it's actually our probably most successful series, to be honest. I think it's the Jackie Chanuaries are the episodes that have got us a lot of very fun collaborative opportunities over the year, and we've met a lot of new friends over the Jackie Chanuary episodes.
Yeah.
Just Jackie Chan films.
All thanks to Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie Chan bringing people together, even though he's a controversial figure now. But his movies bring people together.
Still love him.
And
People love him.
I still love him.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like having that racist uncle. He's probably not saying the right things, but he's of your blood and you love him. Yeah.
It's very true.
Man. But I've been.
What have you been up to?
A lot of movies.
Yeah.
Since the last time we spoke, I think it was probably maybe mid-October when you left Australia. So I've been watching. I had to watch a lot of horror movies. A lot of retrospective horror movies.
Yeah, you went to a couple of retro sessions in theaters, right?
Yeah. Watched The Thing in cinemas at Lido. That was a great experience. I think it was a sold out session, and it's very pleasant when everyone is there for the exact same reason you are, and everyone in the movie just likes the movie. There's no one that's gonna be on their phones for the entire thing, or being obnoxious at a retro screening.
Yeah.
As I saw Audition as well, which wasn't as packed, but I think that's because I watched it the following Monday after Halloween had finished. So it's that sort of horror momentum had died down. But both very good experiences. Yeah. And I've been watching. I watched a few other horror films. I watched Keeper last night actually, which was it was actually surprisingly good. I like Osgood. I keep thinking Osgood or Oswald, but Osgood Perkins.
Yeah.
OP, I will say O Perkins. I like his vision, and there's quite a lot of interesting shots, and just very. It's very slow burn horror. It's been very. I would say that it's actually online. It's been very poorly received. I think it's only 5, but I think it's because it's slow burn and.
It's more of a mood film, right?
Yeah. It feels more like it was it's because you and I used to read a lot of Stephen King novellas and horror short stories. It feels like that. It's sort of on a much smaller scale.
Okay.
But it's still genuinely quite creepy.
Yeah.
There are some I guess I wouldn't say jump scares. There were some shock moments that like got me, and there's this one particular one where it's not even like monster or supernatural. It's sort of just a very big in your face close up, and the person that has the close up just looks odd. So it's
that's always
it's
fun.
Interesting. Yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's a pretty good film.
Yeah, he does good work. He did The Monkey and Long Legs.
It's
Both pretty good films.
All his movies are pretty different, yeah. Because The Monkey is not scary, whereas Keeper is actually quite scary at some points. Yeah, I saw Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, me too.
Which What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was good. I think. I really like the costume design and the production design overall. It feels very vibrant. I think narratively it's not the greatest. I think the structure is a bit. It kind of tells two half stories, I feel, and like some of the characters, especially Mia Goth's character, could have been fleshed out a bit more. But it's a good looking film. Yeah,
I felt the same. I think the two half stories took a really long time to get through.
Yeah,
and then the third act just feels rushed all of a sudden.
Right.
After spending, it's like 2.5 hour film. I think it's a gorgeous looking movie, like costume wise, special effects wise. The thing about, I really like Guillermo del Toro as an artist, and I like his films, and I like his stance on, not
AI.
using AI and stuff. But Frankenstein feels. I was having a chat with my mate, with Marcus, who's been on the show before.
Yeah,
he doesn't use AI. But some of the stuff he does in his movies looks like AI.
Yeah, it feels
because it's very CGI.
Yeah.
It feels very floaty.
Especially in this film. I noticed it a lot more in this film. Like some of the fog, I think, like especially in the Arctic scenes, felt very Netflix.
Yeah.
And admittedly, I did watch it on my TV, so that could be the issue as well.
I watched it in the cinema, so it's something about his movies, his recent films. I noticed it with Nightmare Alley as well. His films kind of lack like sort of visual grit. He shoots very clean. Like it's a very clean looking movie.
I think that's intentional though.
But it doesn't really suit the story though. And it didn't really suit Nightmare Alley either.
Yeah.
It just feels too clean, I think, for me. And I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It might be intentional, but I'm not sure if it adds.
There's a very
to the
fine
story.
line between, intentionally doing it so that you have vibrant colors on screen, as opposed to it just looks like cosplay sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Feels like you're watching an episode of the One Piece series at times.
Yeah. Because it makes the CGI stand out a little more. I think he sort of adopted this during the Pacific Rim days, but it sort of works more for Pacific Rim because he was able to stylize it a bit more. Well, actually, no, I remember Shape of Water not being as clean, and Pinocchio is obviously stop motion. But I remember when I watched Nightmare Alley, I was like, this is good, but there's just something just feels a bit off. Because he likes using sort of floaty handy cam, which I think not handy cam, but he likes his camera moving all the time. It's quite floaty, which is something I usually quite like. It's sort of a lesser Shunji Iwai, but somehow it just doesn't really work. It just, I don't know, it sort of makes the movie look a little bit flat at points. Yeah. So I don't know, like it just lacks a little bit of grit for me, I think, with Frankenstein.
Yeah. Could have been grosser, I guess.
But I think overall it's good, yeah. And Jacob Elordi was too pretty as Frankenstein.
Have you been getting a lot of thirst memes about his Frankenstein?
He's gonna get so much thirst.
He's getting it, man. He's getting it.
he's so handsome.
I saw a really funny comparison between Jacob Elordi's Frankenstein and that Gautier song. You didn't have to cut. It's really funny.
That sounds really funny. Yeah, like I get obviously you're not going to do the the 1950s Frankenstein, and you sort of want to do your own interpretation. And it is sort of the empathy that comes from someone that is good looking, but I feel that he's too handsome in this movie, and is like, oh man, like Jacob, just seems very.
It's the era, Tubby. It's the era of sexy monsters. Like we'll probably talk about it a little bit when we talk about Predator Badlands. He's been getting some thirst memes as well.
That's right,
that guy.
Oh really? Yeah, I mean, like we both watched Predator Badlands as well, and I guess it's sort of like we're talking about the Disney era of Predator and Aliens, because you and I both watch Alien Earth as well.
Yeah.
So,
shall we talk about that then?
Yeah, let's just do it. Yeah.
Both have been fairly well received. I guess Predator Badlands has been better received than Alien. I feel like Alien Earth was pretty divisive, generally.
It was initially very well received, and then it was more divisive as it went on.
Yeah.
Like, not to give it away too early, but I like Alien Earth a lot more than Badlands.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think, I kind of flip-flop between the two. I probably enjoy them both equally and dislike elements from both of them, like pretty similar elements, I guess. But yeah, I guess we can get into it as we talk. But we will do non-spoilers.
Well, I guess we don't really need to get into too much
Yeah.
It's sort of
I guess generally, you're right. We're talking about the Disneyfication of these monsters, I guess, from our childhood. Because we grew up watching old Alien movies and old Predator movies. I feel like Predator, the first one with Arnie, was one of the first films that you watched as a kid that made you like fall in love with this kind of movie and this kind of movie monster, right?
Yeah. Got me into horror, I think. One of the initial movies that got me into probably action movies and movie monsters. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
But I mean, over the course of our growing up, the Predator franchise has gone through ups and downs. I would say mostly downs.
More downs, probably.
But recently, since Dan Trachtenberg has taken over the reins, we got Prey, which is a good movie.
I liked Prey, and Killer of Killers,
which I really enjoyed
as well. Yeah, we talked about that.
Did.
Yeah. I was very surprised by how much I enjoyed Killer of Killers as well. Yeah.
And then most recently, we got Predator Badlands, which I like generally. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But it's hard because it's so different to the previous Predator movies.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards I don't like the movie.
Okay. You don't like the movie, or you don't like what the movie stands for?
Like, I think the movie as a fun action piece and a fun family adventure film, I will say, I think it's fine. I think the story is very cohesive. It's very crowd pleasing. It has a very strong, I guess, human story to it. But as a Predator piece, I don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to sort of take IPs into a different direction and try different things. And I respect Dan Trachtenberg for doing that. And I generally like his movies as well. I really like 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think he did a lot with quite a small, I guess, cast at a small location. And his movies aren't, well, I was going to say, his movies aren't terribly violent. But then if you think about Prey and Killer of Killers, they're quite violent. But he doesn't necessarily need to rely on heavy gore to make his movies quite good, which is why I really like 10 Cloverfield Lane, because it was just all tension. But there's just something about this particular vision that doesn't feel like it's, I guess, an auteur's vision of a movie. This feels like Cliff Notes from a Disney executive saying like, how can we make the Predator franchise include everyone?
Yeah.
And I'm never a big fan of, once you sort of you cross the line into making into, I guess Predator has that sort of more darker, brooding, aspect to it. And I'm never really into making something lighter, and I'm never really into including everyone. So it's like
you're a gatekeeper. Is what you are.
Success. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
gatekeeper.
this is
Yeah, well, you
this is
call it
not
what you
your
want.
Predator movie. Uh,
It's not my
yeah,
Predator movie. It just felt so Marvel-fied.
sure.
I like the first 20 minutes of this film.
I don't like the first 5 minutes of this film. I think, I mean, it
Oh,
opens with a very murky fight scene, which did
yeah.
not set a high bar for like the rest of the film. But I think it picks up after that.
I think for me, it fell down after Elle Fanning's character comes
Okay.
in. I like Elle Fanning as an actress. I think she's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But I don't know. It just felt very she's just an expository
Yeah.
device, you know? And I get it
Yeah.
because people need that human element to connect. But I just feel it's a very boring way to do something because I think my big issue is that this is a Predator movie, but it's told in a way as if Predator was a human.
Yeah.
Because by the end of the movie, you're learning the value of family, right? Let's say, yeah, I've got my new clan now, and like, fuck you, dad, and all that shit. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, we need to stick together. Yeah. But I want to see a Predator story, you know. Predator is an alien, and predators, they're bad guys, man.
Yeah.
Their whole culture is killing things. So
A bunch of pricks.
I would like to have seen a story where maybe perhaps, you know, he actually does kill what he needs to, you know. Maybe it's the Predator shouldn't be as likable as he should be in this movie. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. It just felt a bit goofy. I just didn't like the tone. I like the action scenes. I think the monster designs are cool.
Yeah.
And I do, even though it's a little bit of, it's just androids. Like some of the android kills are quite fun. It's like, yeah, it would have been better if it was people, but, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
But the plot sort of deviates a bit, and then it's about android stuff and people stuff. And like, I don't want to hear about like people stuff. I want to see this survival story of Predator learning to become ruthless and brutal. And I still feel like he overcomes what he needs to by the end of the movie, but I think he's still like a little bit of a bitch, I guess. And even though that's not really the point of the movie, I don't feel like he would last that long as a Predator because he's not self-sufficient.
Yeah, but he's got
gotta
mates,
rely
Tavi.
on
He's got mates, and that's more
immortal
important. You know, that's the lesson.
But he's not a person. He's a predator. That's
Predators
the whole
can have
culture
mates.
is built on.
They're all about
I
clans,
don't know.
Tavi.
Yeah,
I
don't
get what
know.
you're saying. Like, it's so different in not just in structure, but in tone. Like, the original Predator movies, they're essentially slashers, right? And the Predator has always been this monster that, you know, its only motivation is to kill. So, yeah, making a film where it's entirely from the Predator's perspective, it's interesting. It's quite different. And I appreciate that it is a different take.
Yeah.
Both with Alien Earth and Predator Badlands. One thing I will say is I do like the world building. I think they've both gotten kind of a brief where they need to expand on the world and start trying to lead to a grander universe and more things connecting. And I think both projects kind of accomplished that very well. I liked
I think so.
I like the world that it's set in Predator Badlands. It's like, it feels like a real ecosystem. There's like killer, you know, vine monsters, there's razor grass, and you know, the buffalo thing that's moving through the razor grass, like all of that. It feels kind of like Scavenger's Reign, but maybe not as detailed.
Maybe like a less. Yeah, actually, that's a good point that you brought that up. When I was watching this movie, I'm like, my feeling was, I'd rather just watch Scavenger's Reign. To be honest, and well, you know, everyone loves this movie, but no one wants to watch Scavenger's Reign. So that's kind of, you know, it's like, let's not renew that movie. But just let's add more human stuff and maybe explain things a bit more. Just like, you know what I mean?
And I think that's the kind of the thing that, I am fighting against instinctively as well. It's that millennial urge to make the monsters that we thought were cool into the good guy. You know, like it happens quite often.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Book of Boba Fett kind of does it as well. Like Boba Fett's supposed to be a badass that's just like a merciless killer, but then they turn him into a good guy in that series.
No, you're gonna see Predator have his like Instagram, and it's like, come to me in my new Melbourne dive, and he's like, here, this hidden gem, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. And it's like, or like, come to me on this new planet where all the hunters, or like, and it's like, you have like easy mode planets and stuff. Like, this planet is wonderful. It's like, yeah, then it's just, then you're gonna see Predator. He's gonna be your colleague in the next in the cubicle. It's like, hey, how you doing? It's like, oh yeah, I did the Predator lifestyle when I was growing up, but it just wasn't for me. It was all the killing. Like, it just didn't really fit my vibe. I'm more about like, I've been really into the new Tame Impala album.
More organic
actually.
now, actually.
More organic.
I'm into locally sourced produce, actually.
Yeah. Oh, have you gone to the new vegan, like the all you can eat vegan place next door? Yeah,
it's pretty good, man. Like, I'm not usually into vegan food, but it's good. When it's good, it's good.
It's like, yeah. So it's just like, it's gonna be in a suit, and it's like, then people are gonna tell him off for having dreads because that's cultural appropriation. So it's just got like a,
but it is like it's very intentionally designed to be that, right? Like the design of Dex, he's wearing like a vest, and he's got his dreads tied up behind him. He's the sexiest Predator yet, Tavi, and that's definitely intentional. So, and like even the themes are very millennial. Like generational trauma is like a big theme when it comes to millennial writing. Which people rag on millennial writing a lot, and when it gets repetitive, I can kind of see the point. But I think for what Badlands is, it's probably the best iteration of what it is trying to do. Like, I think you're right. I think he's been given guidelines and he's managed to tick all the boxes. Like, you got to get a cute pet in the movie so that we can sell toys. You got to link it to the Alien universe because we're going to do Alien versus Predator eventually. I think this direction is probably what I want in an Alien versus Predator franchise, but not necessarily a Predator franchise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Paul W.S. Anderson sort of already done it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, those movies are more kind of action-oriented, I guess. Rather than being more on the horror side. So like this movie kind of fits in line with that, I guess, that story.
Yeah. I don't know. I just wanted to be a bit more take itself a bit more seriously. I don't know. I think because I'm obviously very much in the minority with my opinion on this because this is, well, apparently it's the most successful Predator movie that's been released
since Alien vs Predator.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. Well, and I don't know if I want to see any more Predator movies told in this way. It's just I just find this kind of story very boring.
I prefer the Predator to be a villain, and I think Predator Killer of Killers is probably my favorite Dan Trachtenberg film.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually, Killers
because it's just
fun.
A bunch of predators being pricks and just killing a bunch of people. Like that's cool.
But I like how they sort of intertwine the predators into more of a symbolic means for each of the characters to overcome.
Yeah.
So they sort of have their own grievances. Where I guess this Predator movie leaves me with nothing to question after watching it. It is very disposable.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I get out of this movie thematic-wise is having friends is good. And it is good. Honestly, like, I have nothing against this message per se because, sticking together and finding your family is good. And I mean, like, the generational trauma stuff is a little bit overdone now. I honestly don't mind millennial writing as much as most people do these days.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a number of very well tackled millennial themes in other films that I've seen. And we are millennials, so it's relatable. But I don't know. I feel like with Predator, I'm not looking for those themes. I'm looking for the theme of a film that would be from a predator's point of view, which is a fantastic premise. But predators are not good people.
They're pricks. They're pricks.
Yeah, they're pricks.
Their
Yeah.
whole thing is hunting things that are weaker than them, but
Yeah.
and shooting them in the back
Well,
with
not
plasma
weaker, but
cannons.
it's a
You know, the thing that struck me in this movie, Tavi, is that every Predator that we've seen prior to Deck must be a fucking loser. Because Deck is the runt of the litter, right? He's like, they're willing to kill him because he's too weak. His whole thing is being weak.
Yeah.
And he goes to this planet, this death planet, where everyone's trying to kill him. And he does very well, Tavi. He's flipping around, he's doing all this acrobatic shit. In the previous Predator movies, they're hunting humans, they're shooting the humans in the back. One of them gets beaten up by Danny Glover, Tommy. Like, when you compare them to Deck, who's supposedly the runt of the litter, those guys are really shit.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Deck is supposed to be the weakest one. Yeah. I think, honestly, I can see why a lot of people like this film because it has that formula. It's a very popular formula, and it clearly works.
It's a video game.
I personally don't like the formula, but you know, as a formula to make money, it works fine, and I'm sure most people will enjoy this movie. I can't say I would recommend it as a starting point for a Predator, like a gateway.
It's really maybe.
I wasn't sure if I would recommend it as a Predator film, but if you need to put something on in the background. And it's inoffensive. Yeah, Predator's all right.
I don't know. I think that's selling it a bit short. I think there's a fair bit of craft in this film. It all looks very good.
Yeah,
like the Predator suit itself is practical, and the actor that plays Predator, I think, is doing a really good job. Demetrius Kuloa Matangi.
Yeah.
Elle Fanning's really good. It's a video game at the end of the day. Like it's God of War. It's honestly, what the new God of War series is to the old God of War series, you know?
Well, I think I think the craft in this movie in terms of production design and special effects is good. And I think everyone's performance in this movie is good. It's just not my thing, you know? It's just not. It's a bit boring, to be honest.
Yeah. I think I'm less offended by it than you because I'm not as attached to Predator. But it does feel like you're taking this iconic monster from the 80s and 90s and like giving it a family, I guess, and giving it values where it doesn't need to. It's like if they gave the Doomslayer like a family and mates. It just doesn't, it's not right. You know what I mean? It would be interesting. It would be an interesting experiment, but I don't think it's right. But then again, it worked with Kratos to an extent. Like people like those games, so I don't know.
I mean, I still remember the feeling the first time I watched Predator and just seeing that reveal of the Predator.
But you can only do that once, Tavi. That is what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Like I feel like people who are watching this movie, a lot of them would have not even watched the original Predator film because this movie kind of stands alone. I don't think you really need to watch anything else.
No,
you kind of get it, right? Yeah. I don't know. Too crowd pleasing for me. Didn't like it.
But you like Alien Earth, which is interesting. I
like Alien Earth. So I guess we were talking about Alien Earth. I actually really thoroughly enjoyed Alien Earth.
Okay.
And I think it does have its millennial themes and its characters, but this movie leaves me a lot more in terms of like what to question. I really do like the idea of putting a child's consciousness into like a body that is obviously overpowered and just skipping that whole aspect of having to grow up and figure out how to use, you know, said new physique and how it sort of corrupts them. So it's sort of like asking these questions like, how is your conscious sort of shaped by your physique as well? And are you still you? So it's that sort of like Shipper Theseus. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is it Theseus? That whole thing. Like, is it still you? And you don't know. And the kid robots do questionable things. Like some of them are still behave like children.
Yeah.
And some of them become murderers. You know. So and I like that whole aspect of it. And it still feels very sci-fi. And just in terms of its I guess its craft, it still feels like an alien film. Like you've got a lot of the aesthetic there. It's still very moody. I find a lot of the new alien designs interesting because the xenomorph is surprisingly not in it as much. It is the eyeball monster, but I find the eyeball monster very interesting and conniving.
Yeah.
And then there are the horror aspects of it are still quite fun to watch. Like the whole, it's that scavenger's reign thing again. It's just this foreign organism. You know, I think there's one particular scene which involves water. And just thinking about that, it's like, ooh, you know, it's still, there's moments in that show that still have shit crawl up my spine. I think you and I were talking about, there are some disnifications of it. Like we see a lot of the kills are seen off screen. It's a little bit of a cop out. I agree with that. But the first Alien movie didn't actually even have a lot of that.
Yeah.
And Alien 2 is not even a super particularly violent film either.
None of the Alien movies are that violent outside of the Alien vs. Predator franchise.
Yeah, maybe Romulus and Covenant are probably the most violent ones.
Kind of different though, because in Alien Earth they tease a lot of violence, but without actually showing it, and it feels more intentional, like an intentional move to lower the rating than like we don't need to show it, I guess. I mean, it's definitely closer in vision, closer to an Alien thing than Predator Badlands was to a Predator thing. And in that way, it does succeed. And there are like a lot of great ideas in the show. And it is a fantastic looking show. I think...
It's got a good soundtrack.
It does have a good soundtrack.
It's got a good soundtrack, man.
I think, I don't know if the ideas were fleshed out enough because it ends on a cliffhanger as well. I think the idea of giving a child a robot body or an android body or whatever, synthetic body that is essentially indestructible, that's a great idea, but I don't think they do enough with it. I mean, it's the worst idea ever, by the way. As somebody that's taught kids for a while, do not give them an indestructible body. That is the worst idea possible. You're setting yourself up for failure, mate.
Hey, are you a boy genius, Dan?
I don't think that guy had enough EQ to know what he was doing, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think because it is a series and they kind of want to lead into more stuff, I think the conclusions to a lot of the plot threads were not very satisfying. And there was just one thing that really got me offside of the show, and I can't really get over it. And it is kind of that neutering of the xenomorph in that, I mean, this is a minor spoiler, but they can be controlled by the main character for some reason.
Yeah. No, I kind of get that as well. Like it does neuter the xenomorph because the xenomorph is not really the villain. It's the eye. The eye is the main villain in this, and obviously the android. I forgot his name, but he's the one that sort of stalks the Indian character and threatens his family and stuff.
Beats up Timothy Oliphant for a bit.
How's that for Asian representation? Where the Indian guy is the one that caves and the Asian guy is the creepy android that nobody likes, and he actually did nothing wrong. He was just creepy.
Oh yeah, forgot about that guy.
Everyone just didn't like him.
He was a bit of a perv,
He's just creepy, and then he just dies.
Yeah, pretty good.
He's like, get rid of that yellow peril guy. He's a fucking piece of shit. And he's just like, I'm just a salary man. And he just dies.
Oh yeah, that reminds me actually. I like the corporate storytelling as well. The interplay between the two corporations I think is quite fun. But again, I don't think they really do enough with it. It feels like it's leading to bigger things. But as a series in itself, it felt a little bit hollow.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it did enough. Like I think the characters' actions enough with the android kids. They sort of tell the story in itself.
Yeah, they're all off doing shenanigans.
Wendy or whatever. I forgot what her name. She sort of is corrupted, and like her character gets a lot of mixed opinions because she's essentially, ordering aliens to kill people. But I kind of like that idea. Like, is she even a good person anymore? Will she actually be an antagonist in the next series? Because what she's doing is sort of in its ethics, morally, not good. And it gets to the standpoint again, like the aliens, are they actually? I know it's sort of like a tried and tested story, but like, are humans the actual monster rather than the aliens kind of thing?
No, it's a child with a robot's body. That's the actual monster. And yeah,
But
it makes a lot
the
of
thing
sense.
is, the eye, the eye is clearly has some sentience.
Yeah, look,
and
I
it
don't
clearly
really
has-
care about the eye. I know it's interesting, but you don't get enough of a sense of its motivations to like really be invested in its story. They spend a lot of the time just looking at it while it's attached to a sheet, and trying to communicate with it. But you don't really know what it's doing. And then at the end, it just like infests a dead guy, and then that's it.
But I feel like as a creature,
Yeah, the design
it
is
wants
great,
to escape.
and like all of the creature designs are great, but I wouldn't call it the villain. It's just in a tank for a lot of the time.
I don't know, I feel like there's some sort of it's obviously been implied that the eye has done some shit on other planets and is capable of a lot of things, and that's my intrigue and why it's compelling. Like, what can this eye do? And it doesn't have alliance with the xenomorph. It attacks the xenomorph.
Yeah.
So is the eye its own species of monster? Is the eye, because obviously xenomorphs are created by the engineers.
Yeah.
So what is the eye? Is the eye another byproduct of those engineers from Prometheus, or is it its own organism? Its own displaced sort of parasite from some scavenger's reign-esque planet.
But the same can be asked of like all the creatures that are in this show. Like, you don't really know where they're from, really. But I mean, the most intriguing thing about the eye is that it is intelligent, it seems. But again, the show ends before you really get into it. So yeah.
Well, you just gotta wait. You just have some patience. It could get way better. It could get much worse. Now that like Predator Badlands has been super popular, maybe it's maybe we need to add more jokes into Alien Earth now, and then I'll hate it after that. It's just like, we need some more quips.
We need the xenomorphs to get a family, which I guess they do.
the xenomorph realizes,
Actually, I realize I'm just killing things because my dad was mean to me.
Yeah, he goes on like a John Hurt, like Elephant Man, like sort of tangent. He's like, I am not an animal. And he just runs off into the corner and starts crying. And it's like, it's okay, alien. And then, and then aliens and Predator learn to live with each other after decades of fanfics having the pit against. It's like, Predator,
you're all right.
I'm sorry. And Predator's like, I'm sorry for murdering your family and whatnot. It's like, let's be friends. And they start a burger business together, and they grow like mustaches. And it's called like Aliens and Predator.
Yeah.
And then it's like, would you like to check out our menu? Is this your first time here? It's just like, they're in like a lumberjack.
Flannels.
And that's it, flannels. They're listening to like Modest Mouse and Bonnie Bear, who I actually like, but they're just playing that. It's just like that folky music, like fun, like the We Are Young. They just keep playing We Are Young in the background of their restaurant. So that's the way that Disney are going to take our next.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, we look forward to the Disneyfication, continued Disneyfication of these movie monsters. They're fine. Whatever, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Anyway, let's continue talking about monsters, shall we, Tavi?
Monsters, zombies this time, right?
Yes.
Are we talking about the Elixir?
We're talking about the Elixir now.
Yeah.
So this is a new film from Indonesian director Kimo Stambuel.
One of the Mo brothers?
The other half of the Mo brothers. We talked about his brother from another mother, Timo,
yes.
Tejanto. We talked about Night Comes for Us a couple of weeks ago. So we're continuing Movember with the Elixir by Kimo this time. So I
Uh-huh.
have not watched as much chemo stuff as I have Timo stuff. You probably watched
Yeah,
more than me, but he's kind of like the horror side of the equation, right?
yeah. Maybe I actually haven't seen as much. I've seen Headshot. I'm just doing a quick
Hmm.
like
The
Google.
Headshot is from the Mo Brothers. Killers is from the Mo Brothers, which I have seen. Macabre is
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Mo Brothers.
Yeah, it's Smoke Brothers. Yeah. No, surprisingly, I haven't really. Yeah, I haven't actually seen as much. But he does a lot of folk sort of stories. So yeah, I should watch more of his stuff. Yeah, no, I actually haven't seen any of his
His
solo
solo
stuff.
stuff. Okay.
I've only seen the
Yeah.
Elixir, but
But
I've
I
only
do
seen this
enjoy
stuff.
his work as the Mo Brothers. Like,
Yeah,
from
yeah,
what I can tell, is very, like Timo, he's very practical effects driven. And you
yeah,
can really see that in this movie. So this is the Elixir.
yeah, yeah.
It is a zombie movie set in Indonesia, in a small village in Indonesia, co-written, produced, and directed by Kimo Stambuel. The film stars Mika Tambayong, Eva Celia, and Donny Damara, and Martino Leo. And it is currently on Netflix if you want to watch it. I think we'll do full spoilers.
Just let Risky will tell you off. Risky like, oh, you just butchered all.
Just
of their
ADR
names
it, Risky.
or something.
Fix it, please.
yeah. Just get him to record it. Yeah.
So we'll probably do full spoilers because it is pretty simple. I think this movie. It's a very
spoiler-like,
standard zombie film that is elevated by the effects, performances, and setting. I would say.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie as well. Like, I sort of just stumbled across it on Netflix. I think sometime in October.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you about it. I was like, yeah, there's a new Anjing zombie movie coming on Netflix.
Less Anjing than I expected. But...
Yeah, no, that's probably one of my criticisms. Is not enough Anjing, not enough Bangsat, which is unrealistic. But yeah, I think this is a pretty simple film. Very, very fun special effects. There's one very particular special effect that I really like. It's the torso zombie.
Yeah.
Where I think one of the zombies gets run over by a car and gets split in half, and then it just starts crawling. Yeah,
that's great.
I guess the best way is like techie style, is that with the hand. Yeah, I really enjoyed that special effect. I don't notice that much of the CGI in this film.
No, it feels very minimal. I think some of the eye transformations and like how they get the veins across their bodies as well. That might be. But as far as I can tell, like the gore effects and the blood effects seem mostly practical.
Yeah, there's a number of times where there's headshots on the zombies and their head explodes, and I really like that. It's like it's got that very strong Indonesian horror gore grit that I guess the Mo Brothers are really well known for.
Yeah. There's a lot of neck biting and like tearing of the jugular skin, which is pretty good.
I think a lot of the critical points is probably it is characters doing dumb things, but
it's one of those zombie films where nobody's seen a zombie film in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like standing around and waiting for a person to transform into a zombie.
To transform. It's obviously played up because I think this movie, it has somewhat of a serious tone, but it's also not taking itself too seriously.
It's funny. It's a funny film at times.
It's a funny, I really like generally in Indonesian action films or horror films when an Indonesian guy is like screaming and gasping, getting killed because like when their mouths open really wide because of like the complexion of their skin is a bit darker, but then their teeth is really white, and that must be in the color grading. So it really like stands out. Good. Like their teeth, they're like and it really like accentuates that horror aspect.
And I think the performances of the zombies overall is really good, and there are a lot of zombies in the film as well. There's a lot of mobs of zombies, and I think like the ones that are kind of highlighted in the action scenes, the performances are really cool. Maybe not to the extent of Train to Busan, but it's pretty close. In terms of the body movements.
Well, speaking of Train to Busan, so it's a good thing that we sort of chose to talk about this film now because we were meant to record this like a week ago or so, but I just got busy. But yeah, I had a chat with Rizky the other day because we're having a meeting about Don't Fret Precious.
Right.
And we talked about the Elixir for a bit. And it was very interesting because if you look online, this is a pretty poorly received film.
Okay.
It has not been received very well.
Yeah.
And apparently it is the majority of the Indonesian crowd that doesn't like this movie.
Okay.
So Rizky was telling me this. I was like, really? Like, why? Like, it's quite a fun movie. I think a lot of the special effects are fantastic. And yeah, Rizky was telling me that much of this film from the Indonesian perspective is that it's dumb.
Yeah.
And they are comparing it to the greater zombie films like Train to Busan, like any of those other classics. So they're comparing it to these films that have bigger budgets. So they think a lot of the stuff in the Elixir looks stupid and that the characters are too stupid, like doing dumb things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really not been very well received in Indonesia at all by the general consensus. But I think Rizky was telling me he was talking to some of his creative mates, and for people that like film and know like craft a bit more, they like this movie because they can see that this is sort of like told from the Indonesian countryside aesthetic. And this might be, hey, look, this is coming from Indonesian source. This might sound a bit mean, but they're saying like, look, it's about people from the countryside Indonesia. Like, I'm trying to think of a better
idiots.
way to paraphrase them.
They're a bunch of rubes.
Smart.
It's exactly how they would act in a zombie situation.
Like they just don't know. But
they've never seen a zombie film.
But apparently, like, there's a lot more of a satirical aspect to this film that a lot of Indonesians didn't get.
Okay.
And to be honest, I didn't really see that much of a satire in it, except maybe for that one scene where, because you find out that the zombies are, they can be motivated to chase sound, loud noises. And there's the guy who on a loudspeaker starts doing the Muslim prayer things. And then like all the zombies go and chase him. And then there's a line where it's like, you know, they're all like eating and killing people, but they're still willing to go and pray, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I think, I'm not sure if this is Kimo's very subtle jab at religion, which is very risky to do, especially when it comes to taking a jab at Islam. But yeah, I think creatives like this movie, and like I think Rizky and I were saying like, yeah, like, you know, Indonesians should be like quite proud of this film because it's I think it's quite a competently made zombie film.
Yes.
And I'm assuming it's got a pretty small budget. I'd assume this budget would be like $1 million or $2 million.
Probably pretty small.
And it looks good. Like a lot of the visual effects are good, and the gore looks quite realistic. It's not overly stylized. Like I watched another zombie horror, a Thai one, which had Muay Thai.
Oh yeah. I watched that one. Netflix.
I forgot the name of it.
Ziam or Ziam or something. Yeah, that one wasn't good.
Yeah, that movie. that's not a great movie, but the movie has its own fun factor to it. But you can tell that the budget or the gore effects weren't as good in that movie, not as much as this. I will have to go on it. There's one, I'm going to spoil the end of that movie. I watched it with the son, man, and it's got like a really funny ending. Well, it's unintentional. So it's sort of that ending to that movie. It's like the main character has died, but then you find out he's survived.
Yeah.
But the shot that they use is sort of like it's his back and he's just like standing in a really cool, like smoldering pose, and it looks really funny. He's like, "Ooh, I'm fucking cool." It just looks really funny. We just cracked up laughing. Yeah, it's just smoldering in his aura for like the final, just like a mid credits.
Very good sequel.
That really funny.
Yeah,
he's like, "Ooh,"
but yeah,
there's like flames and shit.
I mean that movie has Muay Thai in it, which elevates it. But this movie, it's definitely the craft that elevates it and the setting. I am a bit surprised that there is not as much love for it in it because it's so Indonesian as well. Like, just the places that they're in, like all of the homes that they go into, they just feel very authentic. Yes, the characters are dumb. The story itself is pretty, is pretty stock standard, but it's not really the point of the film. I guess it's more like telling a very standard story in an interesting way, and in a way that kind of showcases Indonesia really well, and just putting a lot of effort into the effects to kind of sell that. I kind of see the criticism, because if you're just looking for like a good zombie film, I guess the craft of it can be overlooked, but it's good.
I'm gonna go to the snobby media illiteracy argument again. I think because this movie is very well shot, there's a lot of very well composed scenes. I love the scenery in this film. I don't think I've seen a zombie film set in this particular part of Southeast Asia, where there's a lot of these sort of more mountainous, larger green pastures, and I just thought it looked really cool to see. It has a very similar, I guess, look to The Medium, which we watched a few weeks ago. We reviewed with Chad from Cheers Big Ears, good friend of the show now. We'll be doing more stuff with him as the podcast goes on. But yeah, like when I jump on IMDb, the criticism is never really about, there's never really any praise about the more technical aspects of things, because people don't know that. And I see a lot of the IMDb reviews, it's all about characters doing dumb things. And apparently the acting is bad. But I feel like a lot of these people that are reviewing movies are gamers. I think they're all about, like I would do this, and why didn't they go look for resources there and stuff? And it's like, you're not playing The Last of Us, man. You're watching a zombie film for a bit of fun for 2 hours, and this is like, it's still quite fresh. Like you never know how you're going to react when you're at the biggest stress level, and a lot of it is them. Like, when you're watching zombies turn, and then that can be a criticism in itself. But a lot of the times in this film, the ones that they're watching are people that they know. And when you're watching it in the guise of the third person point of view, I'm watching a zombie film. I know they're a zombie. I would kill them in an instant. You're logically thinking. But when you're watching it from a character's perspective, this is someone that you've known like your whole life, you're only watching a snippet of them.
That's your maid. But how would you feel if you saw your maid turn into a zombie?
and that speaks to the characters. They obviously care for their like service workers.
I love the part where there's zombies like running towards him on her hands, and then the little brother. I mean, we haven't talked much about the characters, but the younger brother character just puts the boot in, just kicks it. It's really funny. But this movie is pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with it. And I think like there are a lot of zombie films that are just dumb fun. And this movie is, I would put that in the same category. It's just dumb fun, but it's dumb fun done really well. So yes, the characters do really stupid things. There's a bunch of times where they find out that the rain stops the zombies in the tracks. So there are times where like it starts raining and the zombies just look up and the characters just do nothing while that's happening. I mean, that's pretty frustrating, sure. But that's the story.
You don't know when the rain is going to stop.
Well,
it could just stop any second.
Which means you should probably move.
They get caught out.
I don't know. Like, I can see the criticism, but you got to look past that at a point. Like, it's not what movies are about, really. Like, a movie that's supposed to be dumb fun, you got to approach it from that point of view. And I think it's kind of like a mood thing as well. If you're not in the mood to watch a dumb movie, then this movie might be disappointing. It's in the marketing of it as well, because the marketing for this film is basically just a Netflix thumbnail, right? And the Netflix thumbnail looks quite scary. It's like a close-up of the zombie. So if you look at that thumbnail and then watch this movie because you're expecting like a terrifying zombie film, that's not really what you're going to get, which could amount to disappointment, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, because zombies are essentially not really that scary to me and you anyway. I watch these movies for their special effects and their gore.
Yeah.
Depending on the mood I'm in, I'm sometimes in it for the human story, but I don't know. I find that method of telling a zombie story quite boring now.
I don't know. Train to Busan's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Train to Busan is good. I'm more talking about The Last of Us,
Okay.
the TV show in particular.
Like humans are the real evil or whatever.
Yeah. The Last of Us, it is like a well-crafted show with strong characters, but it forgets to be about the zombies. It's not about the zombies. I get it, but they leave out the zombies too much that they are almost just a background, and then the action sequences are just not as fun in the show. But when you are playing the game, you are getting the story, but then you have these bursts of action, which keeps the story going more. It keeps it flowing, and the story in The Last of Us is good, but it's not, to be honest, it's not that unique. I think, The Walking Dead pretty much does that.
Sure.
The only thing that The Last of Us adds is, it just adds like gay stuff, like quite literally, it has that LGBT
I'm sure there were gay characters
commentary on it. Yeah.
In The Walking Dead at a point. I don't know. I haven't watched, I haven't finished either of those shows because they're so long and boring. But
yeah. And it's like, you want to see like these kind of special effects and how they do things. Like, I don't want to watch Pedro Pascal just crying again. Like, if I want to watch big drama, I would watch, like some drama film, It's not what I'm in the mood for.
And I think that's the criticism of those shows. I think the criticism of this movie is more that it's not as good as Train to Busan. But, like a lot of films, not many films are as good as Train to Busan. Like
as good as Train to Busan.
It's a fantastic zombie film, one of the best, maybe the best. But you can't really compare the Elixir to Train to Busan. It's just, it doesn't have the budget. It's like not really going for that kind of sentimental storytelling.
Even Train to Busan was just a lightning strike. Like, everything just hit. The story was good. The actors were good. The story was quite human. Because the Train to Busan sequel I honestly enjoyed the Train to Busan sequel, but it's definitely not as emotionally resonant. It's more in line with this film, to be honest. It's more of a dumb action film. Right. And I think a lot of the... Did you watch Peninsula?
I haven't watched it because I heard it's not as good as Train to Busan, which, in hindsight, it should not be a deterrent because Train to Busan is fantastic.
I honestly, if you were not watching... Because it's so hard to follow up Train to Busan, because Train to Busan obviously had years in like crafting the script as well, whereas the sequel Peninsula, it's like, we got 1 year to, we're going to capitalize. So it's just a fun action film. I think honestly, because I had heard super negative reviews about the second Train to Busan, and I was like, this is going to be a fucking garbage movie. But I think I watched it a few years back. I think with Boone and Sunman. And I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. It's not a fantastic film. It's pretty forgettable, I think. But there's some memorable action scenes, and I think it was just too. There wasn't enough time to cook to have another emotionally resonant, Train to Busan. And I think I don't think there should be. I think Train to Busan should just be, for that kind of film, should just be on its own. Imagine if you had 5 Train to Busans and they're all super emotionally resonant with each other, and it's all just Gong Yu sacrificing himself at the end of it, or the Gong Yu-esque character. It would get tiresome, It's like, you kind of want to see the zombie effects, but I think that's the thing that sets Train to Busan against maybe like Last of Us is it does have its human moments, but there's a lot of focus on the zombies as well. Like, the zombies are a threat. And
it's got Mahjong Sok punching a bunch of zombies. It's got it all, that movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's
true. It's got some cool action scenes.
It's pretty unbelievable. But I think, zombie films, they come in all shapes and sizes. And this movie definitely fits in like the dumb fun kind of category. So bear that in mind as you watch it. I think I had a lot of fun with this film because there's so many funny moments in it, but it's played really earnestly. Like the tone of the film is quite earnest. I love the bits where like a zombie will be like attacking a group of people, and then someone will come in from the side and be like, "What's going on?" And the zombie turns on the. It's so funny.
There's like the wheat seller.
Oh yeah, he's riding on his bicycle.
He's riding on his bike. I'm just going to work. He just gets bombed by a bunch of zombies. It's
really good panic acting. But like the first guy to cop it, like the dad zombie, like turns on one of the servants. He's so funny. He walks in and he's like, "What's happening?" And then he sees the zombie. He's like, "Oh God!" And the guy zombie. It's so funny.
And then, it's that guy, and then another servant comes in, and it's like, "What's going on here?" Shit! He gets a bump as well, and then it's quite funny, and I like the there was another.
Hang on a sec, Tavi. 1 sec. Fire warden has come to, or is coming to inspect something. That's fine. We can keep going.
Do we need to chill, or do we just keep going?
Nah, keep going. But he might knock on the door soonish.
Okay. That's all right. That's a riskier problem then.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say. There's that big family that get bombed. There's just this guy in a truck, and it's got his family in the back. And then the zombie, he goes to see if they're all right, because he like flips their car over or something, and he's like, he's been a nice guy about it. He could easily have a hit and run. And him being a nice guy cost him and his entire family their lives.
There's a bunch of kids in the back of that truck.
And that's quite like striking imagery. You see like the zombies are eating the whole family. This little girl is sort of just getting her neck chewed out like from the back. It's cool. Like I enjoyed that sequence. So I like a lot of the innocence.
Inept cops are in this movie.
Inept cops. Yeah, they're like, what's
fun.
going on? Oh, freeze.
The tear gas isn't working.
And the guy's like, shoots the warning shots. And then it's like, he shoots the guy. And then he's like, he just gets mobbed. And the fact that they don't kill that guy either, it's like, it's kind of like, if you're looking at a logical point of view, like they just lock him up, and then that's what gets the cop and his girlfriend killed.
It doesn't help
because like she gets bitten. But again, this is a guy that you sort of know, and it's like you never know. There might be a cure at some point. But it's just it's. I think people have a lot less empathy for characters because I like to think maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe you'd shoot me instantly, like if I turn, like I accidentally cut myself, if I'm trying to open a door and then I cut myself in a lock or something, and it's like, oh shit, I think you just like shoot me in the back instantly. And
you better believe it, Tavi. You better believe it. And also, if I get bitten, I'm definitely hiding that bite from you, Tavi. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna be that guy.
you're gonna be the corporate guy. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna be like the guy that's sneakily like covering his wrist with his sleeve. While ominous music plays.
Hopefully it's a zombie type where like they have seizures before like you turn. So as soon as you start having a seizure, it's just like kill that guy.
There's none of that in this movie, but like there's a lot of the zombie movie tropes in this movie. There's a lot of the characters that are going to sacrifice themselves. They do end up sacrificing themselves. There's I think there's a bunch of noble sacrifice actually in this movie.
I think so. Yeah.
The characters that you think are going to survive are pretty much the ones that do end up surviving. So like this movie, there's no narratively, there's nothing original to it, but I think it's the beauty of it is the way that the story is told. So I think people that like zombie films, like a wide scope of zombie films, and not just The Walking Dead or The Last of Us or Train to Busan, people that are connoisseurs of the zombie genre, I think would appreciate this film.
Yeah. I wonder. I think people who like horror. I don't know who's going to like this movie because the people I
Not
thought that were going to like
Indonesians,
this movie
apparently.
didn't like this movie.
Yeah.
So not Indonesians, apparently. I think if you are someone that appreciates good crafted horror films and generally just good like technical cinematography craft,
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty well-made film. I'm not sure if there's apparent satire there. I'm not sure if all that lands that well. The whole aspect of the elixir is not really that explored in a sense. It's just the catalyst for this is that it's basically the Umbrella Corporation makeup where it makes you look really young for like, maybe 20 minutes and then you turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
And then it spreads through zombie means, biting and whatnot.
Yeah. There's some sequel bait at the end where it ends up in Jakarta.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
I'm not sure if there'll be a sequel to this because apparently, Indonesians hate this movie. So I think, I'm just having a look at Kimo's, other films and just, to see how... And his movies are definitely not as well received as Timo, I think.
All right. I'm sorry, Tavi. Fire Warden's knocking. Gonna pause again.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yep. I'm still here.
Sorry about that. He's gone now.
That's all right. God, good.
Yeah.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. No, that's all right. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so Kimo, it seems like Kimo is the kind of guy that likes to tell a lot of folk, I guess, more countryside kind of stories. Yeah, folk horror. And I think a lot of his films seem like they're not really pushing the bar narrative or story-wise, but I think he tells stories in a very he tells stories very well. He's really good with his craft, I think, in terms of just general cinematography and practical effects. And I kind of want to watch more of his movies now. I think he seems to be the underappreciated Mo brother. He hasn't made it to Hollywood yet. So
do you think there's a place for him in Hollywood? You know how Timo has the Nobody franchise. What franchise could you see Kimo taking the reins of?
I don't know. It needs to be because both these guys like violence and horror seems to be moving more towards the Blumhouse sort of.
I think he could
horror.
do something like The Evil Dead.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Kimo could do an Evil Dead movie because I think a lot of his stuff looks very Evil Dead-ish. Yeah, generally. Yeah. And it's interesting because it sort of goes back to, I guess, the point of media literacy again. When I think I talked about Keeper earlier. Keeper was really poorly received, but a lot of people don't seem to know or have the palate to know good cinematography. And I mean, no one's got the attention span to sit through something that's slow burn these days anyway. So everything is just bad, Where that movie, I understand that movie's got its own flaws, but it seems like there are some movies that equals, I don't understand it, so I don't like it. It's bad. Where there are some extremely overrated movies, like Predator Badlands, for example. So, I think, so sometimes there's nothing to really get either. I think people focus too much on if a story makes sense and how likable are the characters and how characters should act logically, which is not really the point, because logical acting characters doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a fun movie, So if the characters in this movie all make good choices and they're all racked up at the top of the cop station and they all get rescued and they have no conflict, then it's just
have you seen that
done
that episode of Community where they're taking turns telling ghost stories, and when it gets to Abed's turn, he tells a ghost story or a slasher story where the characters just make the most logical decisions, and it just ends up with the two characters standing back to back in the middle of the cabin with the doors locked, armed with weapons, and nothing happens because that's the most logical thing to do to keep you safe. Sure, there's something to be said about the decisions of the characters being in line with the characters themselves. But yeah, it's better for a story if characters don't always act logically.
Yeah,
You got to
yeah.
advance the plot
I think
somehow,
so,
and
yeah.
that means characters
Yeah.
will make dumb decisions at times. I will
Yeah.
admit, for this movie, The Elixir, they make a lot of dumb decisions, and there's a lot
They
of like
do, yeah.
standing around and waiting, which, yeah, sure, I guess it can be frustrating, but I had a lot of fun with it. I like.
I don't see how it can be that frustrating. I think the only time I have felt that much frustration was probably when we watched The Medium. It's like, get that fucking baby out of there. That's probably the time where I was like, all right, guys, that doesn't make sense now. Like, get him out of here, as it says, yeah. But I don't know. I don't think any of the dumbness really soured the movie for me, because the other aspects of it are fun. They're just fun to watch, Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my fire alarm's going off now.
Do you have a zombie apocalypse situation happening? So your fire water's going to come and go, yeah.
We gotta get out of here. Get out of here.
There's a lot of that.
I just stand and look at it.
Yeah. Actually, there is one criticism where it's sort of like there is a lot of their mouth nearly gets close to their necks, but I don't know. It seems like they use that like a fair bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, holding them back,
nearly pushing off. Yeah, I feel like a kid is not going to be able to push his now zombified dad off him very easily.
Yeah, no,
he would just die.
Like leaning on it with his full body weight. Yeah, no, that kid should have died many times in that film.
Yeah. And there's a lot of...
Sorry, Tubby, somebody's knocking on my door again. Sorry, one back. One sec.
Yeah. There you go. Maybe Rizky can do something fun and maybe add some zombie banging sound effects in the background.
Yeah.
As we're talking
my apartment's being sieged by zombies. Oh man, Sydney CBD would be the last place that you want to be caught in a zombie situation. It's already sketchy enough as it is.
Yeah. There is a lot of points where they're like pulling zombies off other people where a zombie, it's a bit awkward in the acting where the zombie is just, for whatever reason, just not biting the hand.
Yeah.
Because that's probably what they would do.
Because they're not a maid.
That's a minor.
As long as you're not a maid, you're fine.
Sort of like a minor. As long as you're not a maid, that's kind of a minor nitpick though. It doesn't really ruin the movie.
Nah, again, it's just one of those dumb things that you just kind of have to roll with. There's a lot of just rolling with it in this film. Like, don't take it too seriously. Just watch it and enjoy the gore effects and the zombie acting. I think it's all pretty top notch. And yeah, it's pretty unique in that it's set in countryside Indonesia. And I feel like it is pretty authentic to what would happen in countryside Indonesia if a zombie outbreak were to occur there. Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
a lot of driving around.
Dumb country hicks, right?
Yeah. Somebody's having a party.
Fucking zombie.
Yeah. Love it.
And just you're just delivering your wheat and then you're dead. You're a zombie. That was so funny because he's just on his bike and he's got like the straw hat on.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even seem that shocked. He's just minding his own business and then he just gets jumped. It's just a really funny action. What the fuck?
It's pretty good.
It's good stuff. Yeah. Good movie. Yeah, I honestly recommend this movie if you're not taking things too seriously and you're not one of those guys that, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think it's sort of like a waste of time to watch something like this, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna like scroll on your phone and doom scroll?
Oh, that's fun as well.
Which is like infinitely worse for you than.
Than watching art.
I mean, than watching art. Like, yeah, honestly, there was this was just one of those like current affair studies or whatever, but they did a study on people who, I think people who play a lot of video games versus people who watch a lot of like TV shows and versus people who are doom scroll a lot. And apparently like people who watch a lot of TV actually have pretty good like focus because they can digest things.
Oh yeah.
People that play a lot of video games are very good problem solvers in the long run. People that doom scroll, there's nothing good about doom scrolling. You just rut your brain. You just rut your brain. That's it. Nothing good about doom scrolling. Maybe it's an agenda news story, but to be honest, I feel like that's
probably accurate. I can't see what you
probably accurate. Yeah.
Can't see what you would gain from doom scrolling, like cognitively speaking.
Yeah.
This is our most boomer episode yet, Tavi. Complaining about the Disneyfication of movie monsters and doom scrolling. This is when we're unleashing our full like Gen X millennial frustrations here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're gonna make a lot of friends with this episode.
Yeah.
I badmouth Predator Badlands, and apparently people who don't like that movie are massive incel racists. So there you go. Get prepared for I'm sure we'll have some negative comments on this video. Yeah. This is all right.
It's fine.
You know, to be honest, like, Predator Badlands, it's fine. It's honestly a fine movie.
He said through gritted teeth.
Yeah, as I say, gritted. Yeah, I think it's a shit movie, but it's all right. It's fine.
It's fine. If you like it, you're fine.
You're fine. Yeah. I would say the Elixir. The Elixir's honestly a much better movie.
We're not even going to win any points for our praise of the Elixir, Tommy, because we badmouth country bumpkins in Indonesia.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but hey, I'm gonna use the Indonesian friend card here and say, oh, that's the opinion of what my Indonesian friends said, so it's fine. Yeah. Indonesian creatives,
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to watching some more chemo stuff. Probably not that easy to find, but I'm sure you'll find a way, Tabi.
Yeah, I always find a way.
We'll do Movember. We'll do Movember next year. Too late. We realized that we should have done Movember, but we'll save it for next year.
Well, those videos, they take time, man.
We gotta
like make videos out of them and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I have to make videos out of them, Tavi.
Yeah, that's right.
But they do take time.
That's right.
We got to get started on Jackie January soon. But yeah, I think that's it from us for today. What did you guys think about Predator Badlands, Alien Earth, or The Elixir, if you have seen it? Would you like to see more from the Predators universe? Is this the way that you want your Predators movies to go? What's your favorite zombie film? Let us know. You can get in touch with us at twoasianblokes@gmail.com. You can join in the discussion in our Facebook group that I don't monitor. You can see what we're up to on Instagram and TikTok at Two Asian Blokes. Let us know. We're nearing December, so we're rapidly running out of steam, but look forward to some good stuff in December and January. Jackie January is coming. We'll probably do some collaborations with some of our new friends. We're going to do Physical Asia at some point. That's fun. We've been watching that.
Yeah. And we'll get to Squid Game and Alice in Borderland. If anyone's actually interested in listening to our opinion on those shows now. Yeah.
I know Lack is. Friend of the show, Lack was asking about that recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We'll get onto it then.
In the meantime, you can check out our Silent Hill F Let's Play as well. We'll probably be finished that off for our Christmas treat.
Yeah, that's the stuff, like we got our two super fans that we do these episodes for. So yeah.
Anyway, that's it from us. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.